witness in the murder trial of former Orlando Pirates and Bafana goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa has taken the stand in the High Court in Pretoria. Sergeant Thabo Mosia, a forensic field worker with 16 years police experience, arrived at the crime scene at around midnight. SABC News' Hasina Gori attended the court case and joins us now. Hasina, one of the things that was quite clear today was, as we heard, it was a lengthy day of forensic evidence, and we know that there have been suggestions that the scene may have been tampered with at the time, suggestions that have not gone away. Do we now know if, according to Sergeant Thabo Mosia, the crime scene was compromised or not?
Good evening. As you asked, quite an important question, but also one that the judge has also put to both the witness as well as to the state prosecutor. And the response that we got so far just yet is that they will come to this at a later stage. They want to go through the evidence at first and put to the court what exactly was collated and collected before they answer that question. So I'm sure tomorrow we'll get a response of that. But if you'd remember on Friday, when the judge asked Advocate George Baloyi, when he was opening the state's case around the purity of the crime scene and whether or not it came to question, he did respond in the affirmative, saying that it may have been. So it's going to be interesting, tomorrow when the cross-examination and leading of questions of the first state witness continues, whether or not it was compromised and to what extent were the tampering of evidence, if any, at the moment.
Now, Hasina, we're hearing of stories of cans, of a hat, of a stick that was found. Tell us more about how he described what he found when he got there at midnight.
So he described that he arrived at just past midnight on the 27th of October 2014. That was a few hours after the incident allegedly took place. He said he was walked through the scene by the other sergeants who had already arrived at the scene. And what he had seen first was that there was a bullet hole through the kitchen door. And after their preliminary investigation, they're certain that this was the point of entry for those two intruders. The state alleged, in their case, they've said that there was two intruders that entered the home on that evening. One had a firearm and another had a knife with them, and both of them gained entry into the property and demanded valuables as well as cell phones from those that were in the home. He also said that they saw blood stains near the TV stand. The kitchen seems to be the main crime scene area, which he swabbed quite extensively. He said he followed also the direction of the bullet, and that led him to finding that fragment of the bullet, the projectile, which he said was found on the kitchen counter behind the glass jars. So he described that these were the items that he'd seen. So these are quite crucial evidence that will play a part in the state's case, and really this is what the state is relying on, specifically that bullet fragment. We know that the state has said that 3 shots were fired on that evening. One was allegedly went through the door, one that grazed the leg of Zanele Khumalo, and the one that fatal shot that killed Senzo Meyiwa. They also believe that the fragment that was shot or found is the one from the fatal shot, and they're hoping to link that. The state is relying on linking that to accuser number 3, which is Prince Ncube, and they had found the gun on him in his residence in Johannesburg when he was arrested. So they're really relying on that fragment, connecting accused number 3 to the case and to the crime. They also found, are going to rely on the cell phone evidence, which they believe shows that Prince Ncube had that gun at the time. There is the image that they claim was found on his phone, where the picture of the firearm is seen and captioned "my killing machine." So these are just some of the evidence that he also found, but also not just physical evidence, but there's also forensic evidence that he detailed quite extensively. There's at least 10 swabs from various areas across that home, including door handles of the kitchen, the bedroom doors, as well as the bathroom doors, kitchen tiles as well. They also took swabs of both wet and dry swabs of the alleged blood stains which were found near the TV stand. So this is really this crucial evidence that the state is putting into a record that will form the basis of their case going forward.
Now, very briefly, Hasina, staying with accused number 3, there are some security concerns around him, and we saw that official from the Kgosimampuru prison coming to clarify some of the issues there. Are they going to move him?
So what we know right now is that for now, they're all staying at the correctional services spaces that they've been held in. We know that the advocate, therefore the defense lawyer for accused number 3, had asked the court to move him from maximum security at Kgosimampuru to the normal lock or a new lock, saying that that's where prisoners who are serving sentences are meant to be kept. He said that he was currently serving a sentence at the Johannesburg Correctional Services, and they don't understand why he was now being kept at the maximum security. There's also that allegation of assault, that he was assaulted here at the prison cells in Pretoria last week following the postponement of the proceedings. There has been a case opened. He's been examined by medical officers which say that he had no injuries, and the correctional services have said that they are investigating that matter. But for now, and the judge has really stressed that he does not want to get entertained or brought into the discussion around where prisoners should be held, saying he does not understand or have enough knowledge to make judgments regarding that. That's why he had called that correctional service officer to ask those questions, and for now they all remain where they are. And should their defense lawyers feel that their rights are being violated, because also accused number 5's lawyer brought up a similar issue, saying her client was being kept in solitary confinement. So the judge said that should they feel that their client's rights are being violated, that they should take the legal recourse that are available for them.
All right, Hasina, thank you so much for that interesting developments there, as we wait then to hear tomorrow as to what exactly, happens when it comes to some of the evidence that has been laid, by the state, especially around this particular crime scene. That's Hasina Gori there, SABC News reporter. Let's move